Why would you cry, Duke Rumley? Welcome.
Jay's making me cry.
We're doing an impromptu little podcast. We're going to see how this goes. So the one and only Duke Rumley, Sober AF Entertainment.
Thank you, Jay. Love you, buddy.
The AF can stand for anything you want.
Sober and fun, right?
Alcohol free.
Alcohol free.
So what's going on with Sober AF Entertainment?
A lot. So once again, Sober AF Entertainment creates safe spaces and fun places, and we have a partnership with a bunch of music venues, and we set up sober support in those venues, and also do a sober section. So we do that at different sporting events and festivals, and we have a partnership with Mission Ballroom. We've got a partnership with Fiddler's Green. We have a partnership with the Colorado Rockies. This coming Saturday, we're doing a sober section inside Ball Arena for the Denver Nuggets. So super excited about that. And we'll have a sober tailgate beforehand. And we're going to have different recovery communities educate our community at this. So not only will we have, we'll have like Colorado Problem Gambling will be there. And we'll also have different peer recovery coaches there and do Narcan training. So check out the website, see all the cool stuff we got cooking, soberafe.com. Secondly, so one thing is kind of this super fun sober support at festivals and concerts. The other thing is we do free peer recovery coach training. So this year, we've got grant funding to pay for 160 people to be trained to be peer recovery coaches. So we're doing that almost every Tuesday and Thursday night from 5 to 7. So, and that's all done virtually. So that's what we do. We train people to be peer recovery coaches, and then we throw really fun sober tailgates at different events. So if you like sports or music, we got you covered.
So rumor has it that you do silent discos, which I still can't get my head wrapped around it, but you love them. And you were telling me a story that silent discos are healing a lot of people. People getting up out of wheelchairs.
Yes. So
this is a true story.
Yeah. Within the past week, we have hosted 2 silent disco parties. The first one last Friday was at the Colorado Springs Rescue Mission. And I thought we were going to a treatment center, but we went to this amazing brand new homeless center. And we set up silent disco. We had 100 people. Took them a while. Took them about an hour to kind of trust us and get out there and dance with it. And we had 100 people with the headsets on listening to 3 different DJs play that we had there, and about a third of them were so traumatized they had to stand up against the wall like a middle school dance and just listen to music, and nobody was doing anything. And then there was a third of people with the headsets on walking around, and they were having fun, but they didn't know how to dance. And then there was a third of the people in the middle of the dance floor just getting down, and 3 of them were in wheelchairs. So there's this great scene of this couple dancing in wheelchairs, holding each other's hands, doing circles around the dance floor. And I mean, God bless them. This woman had no feet, and she had this giant smile on her face. And, just the amount of trauma that these people have gone through, I can't really appreciate. And it was just great being able to bring joy to this group of people who don't look like they get much joy. And, God was in the room, and I was really glad that we were there to be there. And it's something I hadn't done in a while or ever done. And then we had another guy stand up out of his wheelchair. And at this point, I thought we had cured him. And I'm pointing at him from like across the room. I'm like, hey, what's going on? This dude can walk. And he couldn't walk. But what he did, he got down on his belly and did the worm. So he was listening to music, doing the worm. And so sober silent disco is out there making joy and adding a lot of joy. And then 3 days later, we did it for a group called Hard Beauty, and they had a corporate retreat or a retreat for their peer recovery coaches. And we got to bring the fun, and they got down. And we had 3 different DJs. I was one of them, and nobody listened to my music. They wanted the young kids' music. So if you are listening and you want silent disco at your corporate retreat or at your homeless shelter or at your treatment center or at any fundraiser, contact us at soberafe.com. And we'll bring
you're the DJ, you're playing what's going on in the headsets?
Through my phone. So I'm basically ripping off other people's music and playing it. So yes, I am. Or you could have your own people be the DJ. So if you want a special DJ, LL Cool J Staples is one you should really get. I mean, if you want some cool country, he's got some old school DJs, country music.
So I could play whatever I wanted to play.
Correct. That could be one of the channels. Or if you had 2 phones, it could be 2 of the channels. Or if you had 3 phones, we have 3 channels that you
I can see is Elaine and Seinfeld. Like, that's how uncomfortable I would be. I cannot dance. And so this is why I make so much fun about these silent discos, because I don't want to be caught in a silent disco and then be forced to start flailing my legs like Elaine and Seinfeld. Because I have 0 dancing abilities.
Yeah, it is coming. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Jay Staples will be dancing at a conference near you if you invite Sober AF and do the silent disco.
So I can't, like, people just watching me, it just would make me so self-conscious because they don't know what I'm listening to and I'm just doing these weird moves. I would be the guy, like you described, leaning up against the side of the wall. I enjoy listening to music, but I don't, maybe a toe tap, maybe, get the fingers, maybe a little air guitar, but I would not be in the center of the room.
Well, there's 100 other people dancing, so it's not one person dancing. So that helps. And you have this joy of this music coming through you, releasing the dopamine.
I agree. I mean, there's definite advantages of it. I see the point. I'm so self-conscious. What I tell myself is I don't want that for you to watch me dancing. Like I would ruin the serenity because people would be like, "Oh my God."
The inner narrative.
They would get so upset with,
no,
like,
they wouldn't.
What is this guy doing? Like, you would get so many complaints. Like I'd be the first of many. First, probably you just tap me on the shoulder and be like, "Jay, why don't you like fill the punch bowl?"
Jay, that's never happened. So you need to tell that inner kid that nobody's watching. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your dancing. The worse, the better. And we'll play whatever your hits are. You get to play it and you get to dance to it.
You just solved my problems. I always think someone is watching.
Nobody's watching.
But, we talk about, I think in the grand scheme of things, anything that gets people excited and realizes that you don't have to be jacked up on anything to go out and let loose and dance and stuff. Because if you were to ask me, like, I need you to go on the dance floor, my first thought is, well, that's not going to happen. One of 2 things is going to happen. Like, I need a bunch of alcohol and that'd be a relapse. And then I'll go dance, or it's just flat out not happening. Because I've told myself I need to be out of my mind, i.e., not care about what people think about me through drugs and alcohol. But in sober Jay, I always think, I always care. I put a lot of time and energy into what you think of me. So this is still a problem in sobriety. But I think what Sober AF is doing is hopefully chipping away at a lot of these beliefs that you need to do drugs and alcohol to have a good time. And now you got the silent disco, you got all these events. I mean, it's cool to be sober. You don't need drugs and alcohol.
Sober AF Entertainment was created for Jay Staples. Jay needs to
I mean, that should be
let
your
that inner
punchline.
kid dance. He
That
can
should be
do
your
it.
punch, man.
He can do it. He can dance.
You just need a picture of me. We were made for this guy.
Right up there, that guy.
Find your inner Jay. Find your inner Jay. But so I would, yeah. I mean, I've just thoughts, part of me thinks that Lane in Seinfeld was actually a fairly good dancer because that just tells where my bar is. But when I found out that it heals, like it's getting people out of wheelchairs and all of a sudden he's doing the worm, like music heals, let loose.
Right.
I couldn't do it. Have you ever done the worm?
I've never done the worm.
I'm not flexible to do the worm.
No, no, I am not. But watching people who don't have feet, dance in their wheelchairs gave me a lot of like, it's okay to dance, no matter how bad it is. And to tell you the truth, I just put some music on, and I'm usually out in the crowd anyways. I'm here to bring the fun. I'm a bad dancer. I'm from Indiana. I grew up on the Grateful Dead, so I do the Grateful Dead dance. So I do that for about an hour. And it is shocking. I usually thought people would only listen to silent disco for like 20, 30 minutes. But yeah, we go an hour plus. We take it to festivals, and we've gone 4 hours doing a silent disco at a music festival. And I had to basically tell the DJs to stop and give us our headsets because they would have kept going.
Well, I like this. I like being. I can stand behind a counter and be the DJ.
There you go.
Spinning records. I won't actually be, but it'll look like I'm doing it.
Yeah, you just do this.
And then tell people to hold on, like I'm listening. Like if they want
Right.
to talk, the line's to the right, buddy. Like if you want to talk to the DJ, like I got, like I can do all the moves. I've watched DJs, hush people and do the one cup, not actual the headset. You just do the one. That's
Correct.
what the cool things is, and then and then there's these switches that I have no idea, but I would just start like I think kids have this same kind of like playground, like with the switches and the knobs and stuff. I just think I'm a little kid. Like you put that in front of me, I'll just, and don't have it hooked up to anything. And I don't care, but I would just, do the flips, the switch, you could occupy me for 2 hours. You could just see me in the corner. Just like, you don't even have to plug anything in. Just put it, and Jay would just be, flipping, spiraling, you wouldn't see me for 2.5 hours. I would occupy my time doing that.
Well, we know what to get you for Christmas. Yes.
Yes. Those people gave these back in the day, these cubes, like they had different little notches and, like every side had and it's for when people talking on the phone. I still have like 2 or 3 in my car and on my desk that, and when I'm on the phone, like it just keeps my fingers, so gave away too many of my secrets on that. But anyway, so we're creating the sober revolution. You're doing silent discos, which I've made fun of you nonstop for, but there's a growing need for it. Like before I know it, like you're going to be international on these things.
Well, I hope
everyone's going to be doing it. And then I'll just be in the corner with my knobs.
That's right. SoberAFE.com is the website. And you can order Jay Staples to come dance at your silent disco.
Well, if you want people to show up, then I would not order the J package. But if you need a viral, moment to put on video, like order the J package. We'll call it the viral J package. Guaranteed to go viral.
We'll bring the DJs and a dance instructor named Jay Staples.
Do you do dance instruction?
No. You're our dancer.
Can you two-step?
Oh, yeah. Get the right music. You can totally two-step.
That'd just be weird. So you have there could be the chance where like if you have 100 people.
100.
And there's like 4 or 5 different channels?
3 different channels.
3 channels.
And
So
the
of those 100 people, you have no idea how many are listening
No,
to
you
the
do.
same song.
Because it's red, green, or blue, depending on which channel you're on.
Oh, so you can tell with the
Yes.
light?
Yes.
Oh.
So you look around like, hey, everyone's red. What's the red channel? Oh, that's pretty cool. And then all of a sudden you look around, you're like, hey, everyone's blue. And you listen to the blue channel.
So I can do a head nod and be like,
Yes.
you know, like we
Go to green.
one.
Green's the cool channel.
We could be like head nod, you know, like, and then we can do some line step, you know, stepping or line whatever dancing, and push everyone off the. Because you got to get a group, you got to get some area for some line stepping, line dancing, 2-stepping, whatever you call it.
Good to know. I need to know this because this is how we learn how to
Doing a little boot
be
scoot
silent
boogie and the what is that? Anyway,
slide.
I spent many a night line dancing, 2-stepping, drunk off my keister, but I bet, you know, I want to revive the line dancing. I say I don't dance, but I got fairly good at doing some of these dances, line dancing. I can't remember what it was. Copperhead Road.
Oh yeah.
Boot Scoot Boogie, and I can't remember the other one that just gets everybody on the dance floor. And then you have the slow dancing, and then the cowboys and the cowgirls, and you pair off. And I wasn't much for that. Like, those cowboys can do some fascinating things in the slow dancing, twirling and spinning and with their boots. That was the time when I need to re-up on the beer bottles, but
yeah, I stand by your man. Thinking of Blues Brothers, they start singing that song, and you know all the single guys start down in their beers.
Blues Brothers. I have not heard that, and I have not seen that in forever. I think it's time for a Blues Brothers reunion for me.
Yes, bring it back. You need to watch it this weekend.
I certainly will. But so you got things going on for Sober AF. Things, we're creating this revolution. We're doing things. We're getting out and about. We're possibly doing some things here in Nashville, Tennessee, and all over the country. It's sweeping the country.
Well, yeah, it's needed. It's needed. It's wanted. And dang it, Jay, people like us. So we're going to do it.
Yeah, people do like us.
They really do. No matter what we tell ourselves. People
I don't know why, but they do like us. But so anyway, I know it's getting very tough, and these younger people, and it's just, there's so many different ways to get outside yourself. And so, you know, if you can bring together people and create a fun atmosphere without drugs and alcohol, I think, you know, more and more people need this. I mean, because it's easier to reach for something that's going to get you outside of yourself and put the problems and, you know, drive further and away from who you're authentically meant to be, because it's just so natural in society to do something, to be the cool kid and do all these synthetics and whatever. But keep up the fight, because what you're doing is you're creating fun and you're healing people. You're getting people out of wheelchairs. So you got to be onto something.
That's right. We're curing stuff.
I mean, I don't think you can say that because FDA and all, you know, but we can imply that you're healing.
I saw with my eyes. I'll tell you that. I saw the guy stand up out of a wheelchair listening to silent disco music. So,
well, you know, I would have been a lot more impressed, you know, and then you didn't follow that up with, and then he did the worm. So
you can't make this up. You cannot make this up. God's got
I will apologize to that person personally if it truly did get healed, but I suspect that he may not have needed that, because I've seen people do the worm, and you need full flexibility to do the worm, right?
No. He also had the fastest wheelchair, so I'll give him credit for those two things. He could do the worm, and he had the fastest wheelchair.
Was it motorized?
Oh yeah.
Was it one of these scooters?
No. It was a wheelchair that had a motor in it. All three of them had wheelchairs that had motors in them.
Wow.
Yeah. But he goosed his. His was 30 miles an hour.
Did he leave tire tracks? Like, did he burn out? Can you do donuts?
I could hear him. I could hear definitely the sound. It was much faster than the other two wheelchairs. So, Jay, this is the stuff you learn when you're hanging out at different rescue missions. It's doing God's work. God's work.
I think you're doing amazing. I think this is exactly the people that need. Like, they're probably still talking about.
Oh, they are. Yes, that's the feedback we got. They want us back.
Really?
Yeah, we're going back in probably 2 or 3 weeks.
Get the cameras out. Like, put them on the wheelchairs. You're healing people. Like, you could do some like science.
You can make some money healing people.
You could be the new televangelist.
Right.
All right. What's the website for everyone again?
SoberAFE.com. Don't forget the E, Sober AF Entertainment, and SoberAFE.com is the website.
So, and we're making it easier to get to be all right with Sober J. That's what we're doing, right?
Sober J is going to get down. Yes.
Be all right with yourself. Show up, and gosh darn it, you may find yourself on the dance floor listening to music that only you can hear. Dance to whatever music that's in your head. Get taken away.
That is a good T-shirt, Jay.
What? I can't remember what I just said.
Dance to your own music.
Yeah.
Dance like nobody's watching.
I mean, I think that's already a saying, but anyway, well, Duke's always a pleasure.
Peace. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it.
That's what you got. Peace.